This whole entrepreneurial gig can be really isolating, and it can be really, really hard to find people who actually understand what you do. Now, particularly if you are in an environment where the majority of the friends that you have or the majority of your network of people are employees or used to subscribing to the traditional way of life. Now, as entrepreneurs, it can be a really, really big thing to find your tribe, to find your people. And so that's exactly what I'm going to be talking about today in this week's blog. Stay tuned. Hey, welcome to this week's blog. Now, I know for me, I live in the middle of nowhere, and it is not a particularly online entrepreneurial growth pocket, right? There is not a huge group of people up here where I am that are growing their businesses online, particularly women who have children, who are, really trying to build this in the hours that we have available to us, as well as doing everything else. Now, that's not to say that all the other people here are not awesome doing what they do. It's just that a lot of people, from what I have found when going to events or dinners or even just talking to people, they don't really actually get what it is that I do. And that's more than okay. The challenge that I have found for me personally has been really finding my people, finding my crew, posse, tribe, people who get me, who are like, oh yeah, like I know what you're working on. Yeah, I get that that's a tough gig, and I'm really excited to be able to talk to you about it. People who have an understanding. They're not just saying, you want to do what? I don't understand how you work online. What do you mean you work from home? They don't get it. They don't understand that they can't just rock up at your door and say, hey, I'm here for a coffee because, I'm here working. And I think that that's a really unique kind of little bubble that a lot of us sort of live in this land of entrepreneurialism. And a lot of people, just from the outside looking in, they just don't get it. So what is it that we are supposed to do? Because you know how important it is to have community, to have people, to surround yourself with people who get it, who get you, who are like-minded, who are working towards the same stuff. It's not like you can just walk down the mall or down the street and say like, hey, I'm Nicola and this is what I'm doing. Do you want to come hang out? It's very, very different. One of the really big ways that I found this to be really a helpful way that I've found to get over this thing is to join other people's programs, other people's groups, where you might be looking at learning something that's complementary to what it is that you're doing. So, for example, a lot of what I do in the background of everything that I do is a lot of energy work. And I wanted to learn how to do that, right? How to do energetic clearings and readings and stuff like that. Not just Reiki, but, deeper kind of work. And so I started learning all about that, and I started meeting some different people who were sort of thinking the same way that I did. I've joined other masterminds in order to be surrounded by other people who are all like really pushing the limits of what it is that they're wanting to create, what it is that they're wanting to do, and make a really big impact in the world. And I found that being part of communities that are not just in the same industry as what I'm doing, but more complementary, sort of like there's some bits of crossover there. I found some of those people to be the most inspiring people that I've ever met. Now, if you're like me, a lot of those kinds of groups of people are really far away. So what I found something that was really good is, obviously being part of their online communities, but I am the kind of person that really needs to be in the room with people. I really like to be around other people. I like to be talking. I like to feed off their energy and give my energy back and really interact with them. And so what I've needed to do over the past few years is find different groups of people that I can be with in person. Now, that can be challenging because, a lot of the time I've got to travel to where those people are. Now, if you're in that boat as well, just do it. Take the travel, do the thing, make the effort, and go find your people. Now, if all of those things don't work, the other thing that you can do is look at creating your own tribe. Now, what that would look like, you're probably doing this anyway, particularly if you're doing things online, you will have been cultivating clients in through that way. Even if you're doing things in person, you'll be bringing people through. Now, more often than not, the clients that you bring in can form your tribe. Now, you end up being the leader of that, so you've got to be aware of that. But there are also some really great friendships that you can create within that once the job of doing your job is done. So you can look at bringing people together, forming a community, and then leading that community. And that's one of the most inspiring things that you can ever possibly do, because they're always looking at learning from you. They're always looking at you to really lead them to where it is that they want to be. And I think that that's a really great common experience that you can create with them. You also need to find ways of being able to create that, being part of that for yourself as well, in my opinion. So some things to think about if you're considering joining other groups. Number one, are the kinds of people that you think you will get along with, are they in that group? Number two, are there people in there that you think that you might be inspired by, motivated by? Are you sharing a common experience? The third thing, the group that you're joining or considering joining, are the rest of the people a couple of steps in front of you? And is that going to motivate you to move forward, or is it going to demotivate you because you're not where they are yet? The fourth thing that you want to consider, of course, is location. Like, do these people meet online? Do they meet offline? Is it a valid reason for you to be able to go and travel to them? Is it warranted? Is it justified? So they're probably the four big things that you want to be considering. Obviously, price is another thing, and making sure that you're able to afford that group that you're looking at. Now, when I say afford, you probably need to stretch a little, all right? And you do it before you think you can afford to do it, but you don't want to go bankrupt doing it. So just bear that in mind. So when you're thinking about your tribe, finding them, and everything else, think about all of those things. Make sure that there is an alignment there. Ideally, before going and jumping wholeheartedly into some kind of group like that, where you might have a 12-month commitment, go and test the water. See if there is another event that you can get in the room for. See if there's an online thing that you can be a part of before going and take that leap if you're a little bit nervous about it. Personally, I tend to take a look at the people who are in there and I just jump in, boots and all, and I'm like, yep, I want to learn from the person who's leading it, but I also want to be part of that community. So any questions that you have, please go ahead and leave them below. My name is Nicola. I look forward to answering anything that you have. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me here. You can find me in your inbox as well. So have a really great day. Go find your tribe. Hang out with them as much as you can and have fun. Talk to you soon.